technological advance. 3D games are still in their infancy in the sense of where to put the camera, just as movies were in their early days. And every new game that comes out has rings some new variation on it, and there's usually some important advance there that that you can look at and say, yeah, that's the way to do it, and that gets drawn on in future games. But the problem I have with all the games that are out there, and I've played some of them quite extensively for fun. Actually, I played Tomb Raider a lot with my wife because she's got a very good sense of direction, so she can tell me when I'm coming back to a door that I've been. She's like, "Why are you going there? You've been there before." I'm like, "Oh, have I?" Because my problem that I have with all games, all 3D games, is that they're just too hard. I lose track of where I am, and there's so many controls that my finger. There's always one or two that I forget that I never use. One thing that with Prince of Persia, I really tried to do it in the first one, and I hope we can do it. I hope we can translate that to 3D. Is that the controls were very simple enough that even someone who doesn't play computer games, someone who's a child or my grandmother, could pick it up and with them a bit of wiggling around, kind of figure out what the controls were and who that little guy was and what they're supposed to do, and not be threatened by it. Whereas a lot of the games I see, they're good once you get into them, but there's just this wall you have to climb at the beginning of mastering, like D-pad controls and knowing how to go to an inventory screen and select your item. That geez, if I have a hard time with that, I know there's other people out there who would play these 3D games if they just weren't so hard. We always think we're stealing, but what it comes down to it, if you can bring, we borrow from everywhere, from movies we've seen, books we've read, games we've played, and and real life as well. And if you can merge all those elements into something that's coherent and that captures people's imaginations, you've done your job.